Hey guys, I just got something that I really want to show you guys and I'm rushing through the unboxing a little bit because I just got it in mail and I really want to start using it, but then again I don't want to waste skipping through the unboxing bit first, the first impressions and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do this first and then maybe a little time later follow up with some in-depth stuff, impressions and all that kind of stuff later. So a little backstory, I do play a lot of video games, but more importantly I actually play most of the games on an Xbox controller over here. Not because of whatsoever, but I mean I have a full set, a proper mechanical keyboard if you look over here, but I just feel that sometimes gaming on a gamepad sort of increases the experience a little bit, makes it more fun I guess. Keeps the casualness of the game itself there. Whenever possible, I'll try to game on a gamepad. It sort of adds a little bit more fun to it, I guess. A lot of games I play, I do it on the controller instead of the keyboard, whenever possible. So games like GTA, which I've been playing a lot, I do it on the controller because when I'm driving, when I'm flying, when I'm doing all those stuff, I get to control the angle and the strength of whatever I'm doing. So this is it. This is fun. This is interesting. So, but that's it. One of the troubles of using a controller sometimes would be when you have to go through really sensitive movements like aiming and shooting, or if you really need to make very precise movements or whatsoever, controlling a character and all that stuff. It can get a little limiting considering the fact that you only have such a short height and a little bit of travel before you max out. It's only like what, 1 cm before you hit the end of the movement. So that gives you very little range of motion before your thumb extends to the maximum. And not just that, I mean I have small hands, and you know what they say about small hands, but that's not the case. I have small hands, so I don't really feel that much problem when using this. It's only when I really need to make a lot of really weird movements that my thumb sort of cramps up and all that stuff. So most of the people who complain about using a gamepad to play would be that essentially your movements are limited, very small range of motion, and then for some you get fatigue, your thumbs get tired and stuff like that. So what I did was that I actually ordered a new attachment which is supposed to help your precise movements and all that stuff, and I got in my mail KONTROLFREEK. What it is basically some add-ons that help increase whatever causes all these problems. I'm gonna do a quick opening because there's only two things that you need to look at, and that would be 1. The box itself. 2. A little sticker to say that you're a proud supporter of KONTROLFREEKs. 3. The receipt, which I'm not going to show you because it contains sensitive information. So over here you're going to see KONTROLFREEKs, the box, and what I got was actually the classic Gamer Pack Classic for Xbox 360 and PS3. Why Xbox 360 when I don't own one? It's because the PC version is modeled off the Xbox version. By the way, I got this on Taobao, which only costed me like 10 bucks. So cheap, right? But anyways, on the back of the pack itself, it says that gives gamers at all levels a competitive advantage. Top gamers trust KONTROLFREEK to improve accuracy, enhance grip, increase comfort. So what this does is that basically KONTROLFREEKs increase the height of your thumb stick, I guess. It increases the height, so essentially it's just basic simple math. By increasing the length of that stick or the height of the stick, you now have to travel a little bit further just to get to the same angle as it previously did with the shorter height. And not just because of that, now we go to physics. Because it's slightly longer, you require less effort, less force just to move that stick. So one, you get to get better sensitivity, more control over your movement, but at the same time you don't need to push as hard, although I never really thought that it was an issue to begin with. But yeah, I'm gonna open it and then we'll try it out. Little information, pulling it out. The gamepad Classic comes with two different kinds of sticks. You got the actually, what's in it? Okay, screw this shit. I can't remember what's in it, but yeah. Okay, just so you know, I got the KONTROLFREEK gamepad Classic, which comes with two different attachments, one of different heights, I guess. Essentially, this is a common configuration of a lot of gamers. They will add a shorter height version on the one on the stick that controls movement, and then a higher stick on the one that controls look, aim, and stuff like that. Reason being that sometimes movement doesn't require that much of precise control. On the other hand, you want to have better grip and stuff like that. So that's about it. So how do you attach this on? Let's see. First, you pull this out. Then, shit. Okay, it's quite straightforward actually. Just hook on. I'm not sure if you see this. Okay, so you hook on to this portion, and then you try to force it in. You will hear a piak sound, I guess. No, it doesn't. It just basically grips on really tight. So that's pretty much it. Feels tight enough, I guess. Okay. Wow, it's a lot higher than I expected. And then you got the other one, which is even higher now. This goes onto the other stick, and I'm just gonna do it on my side now. Okay. Yeah, this is much higher. It might be a little bit too high for me, but that's about it. This is how it looks in the end. It might be a little bit too high, really, I feel. But again, we're just gonna try it out and see how it goes. The good thing about this classic gamepad is that you now have two spare ones that you can either A, give your friends, or B, keep for yourself. And if you feel that maybe this isn't the configuration for you, you can always try for like two low ones, or I don't know, whatever you want to do. So yeah, now I'm just gonna leave this video as it is. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep this for. I'm gonna go out and start playing. So yeah, screw you, bye bye. Hi guys, so I'm finally back after a very long time, and it's so long that I don't even remember when was the last time that this came into my mailbox, and for that I apologize. I know it's been a very long time, but yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I took so long to do this review is because it's honestly so enjoyable that I sometimes forget to come back and do my stuff, you know. So yeah, been trying it out for a few weeks, close to a few months already, and every now and then I'll just play in both the first person and the third person games whenever I can. Some of the games I did not have the time to record myself playing, but there are much more games. I did test it out intensively over a variety of different genres of games, like racing games, first-person shooters, platformers, definitely. But yeah, even first-person shooters, not just regular hack and slash stuff. So that was surprisingly fun for me to play. What I found to be very helpful with the slightly longer, slightly higher Freak was the fact that you now have so much more control and so much more ease of use that you can make very precise movements even when you're playing on this. Previously, when I was playing like Grand Theft Auto and all the other shooters with this, I had a lot of trouble aiming because I had to constantly tap. I had to constantly tap the gamepad just to make very minor adjustments, but with this, I don't really need to do the tapping. I can just push it ever slightly, and then it'll make the small movements to get the headshot and all that stuff. I don't like to spray when I'm playing games because usually none of it hits, so you're just wasting ammo, right? So yeah, I mean, comparing the two, you got the green one, which is the slightly shorter version, and this doesn't need to be so tall because technically if you're only just playing driving and all that stuff, you need it to be shorter so that you can get very quick, rapid reaction controls. But at the same time, you still want a little bit of extra height just so that, you know, you can have a little bit more control over your movements. The default height on the gamepads are just not good enough, to be honest, very sadly. So why do they not make it higher? I have no idea. Maybe it's for people with smaller fingers than mine. Mine are actually already quite small, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, all the better, right? So that they can come up with more of this. So yeah, this is what I quite like. Number one, it requires less effort to push it around because technically with the added height, it means that you require less force just to get the same moment. Physics, woohoo! But yeah, more importantly is the added precision to movements and all that stuff. Previously, if you want to make a full movement, you gotta move that much, but now it's just a little bit. But now you gotta move much more just to get to the same, which means that you get more control over very minor movements that you want to go. I think I'm rambling already. So that's the good point, and now for the bad point. Technically the bad point isn't really their fault. It's not really KONTROLFREEK's fault, to be honest. It's their fault with gamepad makers like the original ones or even the third-party ones. I've never tried the third-party gamepads yet, so I don't really know how to compare. But whenever you're playing with something that has an analog stick, you will encounter this thing called a dead zone. And essentially a dead zone refers to this little area that this little area of control that gets negated because maybe your controller is getting older and maybe the rubber pads inside is getting looser. So it's this little spot whereby it doesn't register anything coming from the stick or whatsoever it is. So this problem, this dead zone, technically is amplified by the stick itself because of the extra movement, the extra distance that the stick has to travel just to make that hit. So there are games whereby they will fix this kind of stuff. Not all games do that. Older games like Fallout and all that shit, they don't do that. So it becomes a little bit of a hassle when you play that kind of games. So as a result, when I'm playing Fallout, I play on melee or unarmed mode, whereby usually I would prefer to shoot and shit, but because of the dead zone problem, it becomes really tough for me to shoot in Fallout. Although strangely, when I'm playing the other games, the other shooter games, I have no issues at all because they have the dead zone correction that you can do. I don't know how they work it, but it works. So yeah, that's about it. It feels great. The material that they use for this is some rubbery thing, and it grips pretty well. There are two types of grips though. You got the little dotted ones here, which is concave, and then for the green one, it's a greenish one with a KF, which I believe is their logo. But this one is convex, which means it pops out. Reason being that when you're pushing it around, you will want to. It really depends on how you want to grip it, and because of the way that most of us will press down on this on our right hand, I suppose the concave thing works better here because technically you're gonna be doing this more often, and I think it's easier to grip on when you want to do this. Plus, it allows for better movement, I guess. Whereas on the left stick, it's generally used for movement, so you don't really need to move at a very precise angle or speed or whatsoever it is. So yeah, that's about it. I quite like this. Well, I guess that concludes the post impressions sort of thing. That is me using the KONTROLFREEK thumbstick height enhancer thingy for the last few months. In conclusion, if you have the spare money, go ahead and buy it. It makes your gamepad playing experience so much better. But that's it. If you have a shitty gamepad, it will make the shitty parts of it worse, as in my case would be the dead zone problem. But in all, the pros overweigh the cons, so I see more benefits than there are disadvantages. Go all out for it. That's it. Now that I've come to the end of it, I have one little problem. Because they give me 4 and I only have one gamepad, I can't essentially put all 4 in the same one, and I don't really intend to be changing this anytime soon. As such, I'm going to give this out to the best supporter. I wouldn't say best. I will be giving it out to one of the supporters of the channel, the very little amount of it. Whoever watches this video, leave a comment below with the game that I have put up as an overlay, the game that I have featured in this video, and I'll just randomly select someone and then ship it out to you. Of course, I'll contact you and then see how it can be done. But yeah, good luck to this. If you want to get more chances, like the video, share it with your friends. Free thing, who don't want, right? But yeah, that's all. Bye bye.